Back at the dorm room, Amy was busy doing some homework.
How was your workout?
It started off kind of shitty because the werewolves were trying to block me from using any of the machines. My control started to slip as I got angry at their antics and, I don't know, they stopped doing it. Leo was there towards the end, and as I was leaving, asked me to work out in the pool with him tomorrow.
Are you gonna go?
I don't know. Something seems off about him.
He's your survival class partner, right?
Amy asked.
Yeah, why?
Well, he is a werewolf. You mentioned he had asked about your ability to get better on Wednesday, so maybe he is hoping if your leg gets stronger, he'll have a better opportunity to do well on the midterm and final.
You think that's it?
It certainly makes sense.
Amy shrugged.
Free physical trainer, and he's cute too. Just don't let his mate catch you. I hear they can be jealous and protective of their mates.
I'm gonna grab a shower. Wanna grab lunch after?
Sure.
The hot water of the shower soothed Erin's hip, and by the end of the shower it was at a normal pain level. Once out of the shower, she used some more ointment on her hip. Once she was dressed, they headed out to one of the cafes. It was Sunday, and Erin made the decision to go to the pool with Leo. The water would make the exercise a lower impact, and it would be a good change of pace. When she had been shopping to have specific clothing items for this place, Susanna had made her get a bikini. It made her feel very exposed, but Susanna had insisted that she had a great body and shouldn't be afraid to flaunt it. Erin didn't like how exposed her surgery scars were, but they would be pretty exposed regardless of what she wore to swim. She put a sarong around her waist and put a t-shirt on. At least she wouldn't be so exposed while she walked to the gym. She packed a towel in her duffel bag and headed out. When she entered the pool area, Leo was already there in his swim trunks.
Here's a bench you can set your things on, and then I can help you to the pool so you don't damage your cane.
Erin walked over to the bench and sat down, removing her brace, her t-shirt, and her sarong, and then pulled out her towel so she wouldn't have to dig for it later. Leo felt like the wind got knocked out of him as she disrobed. He quickly controlled himself as he helped her to walk to the pool steps. Once she was in and doing good, he got back out to grab the water weights and put them into the water. These were foam items that would create resistance when pushed down into the water. There were also a few different weighted items that were designed to be held in your hands as you only kicked. They went up to 20 pounds. That last one was for himself. He wasn't expecting her to do higher than 5 pounds, if at all.
Let's do a few laps to warm up,
Leo suggested, and she nodded in agreement. After the laps, they started working with the foam resistance items. Erin liked the way they felt. Leo was enjoying the view. He was surprised at how extensive the surgery scars were. He wanted to trace them with his fingertips and use his gifts of spirit to speak with her own spirit. He definitely was right about her ability to tread water by just kicking her legs while holding on to a weight with both hands. She actually was only able to hold the 2-pound weight. He was quick to grab the weight from her when she began to struggle.
I think we're done for the day. I want you to trust me right now. Do you think you can do that?
Why? What are you about to do?
He gave her a smirk and scooped her, lifting her and then carrying her out of the water.
I didn't want you to slip,
he explained as he set her down on the bench.
Oh, thank you.
Her cheeks were stained red as she pulled out her towel and started drying her hair. Leo got up and went to another bench where his own towel was. Today was almost too much for Leo. Touching her, carrying her. It had been a real struggle to remember that she doesn't feel what he is feeling, and he needed to calm down.
Did you bring clothes to change into?
He asked.
No, I was just going to go straight back to the dorm so I can wash the chlorine out of my hair, and then I'm off to the library.
Don't tell me you have homework already.
She chuckled.
No, but I am still behind everyone, so I figure I should do my best to get up to date with everyone else. My uncle gave me the names of a few books he suggested I look up.
I want to tell you something so that you hear it from me first.
She looked at him oddly. He was very uncomfortable all of a sudden.
My friend Travis had asked me to go for a run, and let our wolves out, so to speak. It can be very freeing to run full out in our wolf forms. There were a few others who wanted to run too. I thought we were going into the forest, but we didn't. We started to head towards one of the paths. But that isn't that out of the ordinary. There is another large forest on the other side of campus, and this would be the fastest way to it. I think I caught your scent first, and I started to hang back. They wanted to mess with you. I didn't realize it until they caught your scent too. I am sorry I didn't try and stop them, but I am very glad that you didn't let them intimidate you. I was trying to move away because I didn't want you to think I was also trying to attack you, but I snapped a branch, and you caught me too.
Leo looked up at her as he had been addressing her feet. He needed to see how she would react. She was sad and a little betrayed. But then she nodded.
Are you okay?
I will be. I guess I don't know. I'm glad that you're the one to tell me, and that you've told me early on. You were the one that growled during chemistry, weren't you?
He nodded.
Why did you growl at me?
It's ingrained into us from birth that physical deformities and crippling injuries are Celine's way of saying that a person doesn't deserve to live.
Who is Selene?
The goddess of the moon. She is what made us who we are.
She nodded, understanding.
So, what happens if a person becomes severely injured?
Erin asked. He was now really uncomfortable.
They are expected to fend for themselves and to get better on their own or to leave.
And if they are born deformed?
The pup is left out in the woods, away from the pack.
She could tell that he really didn't want to tell her these things. He was extremely uncomfortable.
That's horrifying.
He just nodded.
Do you still feel this way? About me?
No. It has been my pleasure to get to know you. I'm excited to show the other werewolves what an awesome partner you are going to be. I've already been hearing other wolves talking about how they are going to have to do all the work and lamenting that they had to be paired with a mage. They are going to learn the hard way how important it will be to have a mage with them. I've listened to the seniors in classes before me talk about how their minds got changed throughout the year.
He smiled. Erin looked down and nodded. She had redressed in her sarong, t-shirt, and leg brace.
I guess I'll see you tomorrow in class.
Leo nodded and didn't follow her to walk her to her dorm. He was still very unsure of how she felt about him. She always seemed so closed off. Did she hate him? No, she didn't have hate in her eyes, but it was hurt. He had much to repair yet. It was Monday, at the last class of the day. Leo was nervous because today was weapon fighting. Erin was again up against Rebecca.
What weapon are you comfortable with, Miss Blackwell?
Mr. Collins asked.
A rapier or a similar sword, please?
We have rapiers. I'll get you one. Remember that you will be able to also use your cane as a weapon if needed.
Erin nodded as he handed her the sword. The blade was similar to the one in her cane. This was the kind of sword that Deacon had trained her on. She had, of course, been much better with the sword, due to being able to balance with the cane as she moved around. Rebecca chose an arming sword, which is much more rigid and thicker in blade than Erin's rapier. Mr. Twinning told them to take position, and then to begin. Erin waited with blade raised at the ready position. Rebecca swung and Erin used a minimal movement dodge. She smacked Rebecca's sword away with her cane and then lifted her blade to Rebecca's throat.
Good, good. Back to starting positions,
Mr. Twinning said. They did so, and Erin had her blade back to Rebecca's throat within 5 moves.
Erin, who trained you? Was it Deacon?
Yes, sir, it was. How did you know?
He was a master at minimal movement. There is a sword fighting team that fights against other schools. He was on it while he was here, and during his senior year, finished first in the tournament. His plaque is displayed in the library if you are ever interested in looking at it.
Mr. Collins replied.
Mr. Twinning.
Yes, we have seen what we need.
He gestured for them both to hand over their swords and return to the ring of students. Seeing Erin do well made Leo feel very proud of his mate. It was still difficult to be apart from her, but he knew it was for the best. He would not see her again until Wednesday when they worked out. It was Tuesday night when he was speaking to Travis.
Hey, Travis.
Leo called to him.
Yeah, what's up, Leo?
Travis was heading out the door when Leo had called him. The rest of their pack mates were out of the pack house.
What are your thoughts on Erin Blackwell?
Travis thought for a few moments. He knew that Leo had partnered with her for the survival class.
How do you mean?
I don't know. Do you still see her as a cripple?
It is interesting. When she speaks or is doing spell work, or even when she is fighting with a sword, it is easy to forget that she has a bad leg. And then she moves, and the illusion is gone. I think that she will hold you back in the survival class. She is not going to be able to help you do any physical work, and you will be stuck at her pace.
Fair. Would you like to meet her? Maybe you and Celeste?
My mate has been a little curious about her and how she was so strong with her magic.
She's from one of the 10 great mage families. They said those mages were stronger than most.
True, but her cousin Shelby, who graduated last year, didn't seem like that, did she?
I really have no idea. We don't have classes with other grades. Did you hear anything about her?
Leo asked.
Celeste's pack had a senior last year who worked with Shelby. I remember Amber mentioning that Shelby always appeared to be holding back on her.
Travis shrugged.
But sure, if you want me to meet Erin, I will. When?
Maybe tomorrow for dinner? I'll probably see her tomorrow at the gym, and I'll ask her then.
Travis nodded in agreement and continued to the door to spend time with his mate. At the gym, Leo spied Erin already there. He headed over to her.
Hey!
She looked over at him and gave a small smile and nod as she was doing curl reps with the free weights. He picked up a set of free weights himself and started doing his arm exercises. After a while, he finally broached the subject.
I was wondering if you would have dinner with me and Travis and his mate Celeste.
Isn't Travis one of the ones who tried to frighten me?
Celeste was there too.
Why would you want me to meet them?
Because Travis is my best friend, and I want him to get to know you too.
He saw that she still wasn't too sure.
You don't have to come alone and be the only mage amongst us wolves. Maybe bring Amy?
I'll ask her.
Erin agreed.
Okay.
He grinned. Back at the dorm, Erin grabbed a shower and waited for Amy to return from the library.
How was the workout?
Amy asked.
Is Leo still working out with you?
Yeah. He asked me to have dinner with him and 2 of the werewolves that tried to intimidate me.
That's weird.
Amy frowned.
He suggested I bring you, so I wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'll come with you. I don't like you being alone with 3 of them like that, and to know that 2 of them tried to frighten you.
Amy had been really upset on Erin's behalf about the incident.
I don't think that Leo wants to hurt me. I think he really does just want his best friend to meet me. I don't know. It's like I know that he wouldn't hurt me. Isn't that weird?
The short answer? Yes. That's weird. He's still a werewolf, and I can't imagine his mind is that changed about disabilities.
Erin sighed. He had to be playing nice because they were partners for that class. Why else would he be so nice?
You're probably right.
Erin admitted. It was near the time they had agreed on when Erin and Amy left the dorm and headed to the food area. It was set up much like an enormous food court for a mall. The various stalls were all on the first floor, and because there were so many students, there were 3 different floors to eat on. Most of the time, Erin could find a spot on the first floor. As they entered the food court, Leo stood up and waved to them. It was packed, and Erin had been dreading the stairs up to another eating floor. They went over to the table and saw it had been readied for 5, but Leo was alone.
I came early to ensure a first-floor spot.
He grinned.
Travis and Celeste should be here any second. Oh, there they are.
He stood and waved again. Soon, the pair of werewolves joined them. Travis looked nervous as he ran a hand through his hair.
Hi, I'm Travis, and this is my mate Celeste.
Hi, Travis. I'm Erin, and this is my roommate Amy.
She replied.
How do we want to get food? If we all go, we will lose the spot.
Leo asked.
Oh, I can take care of that.
Amy replied. She made a few gestures and said a few words in the language of magic, and then nodded, satisfied.
Okay. If we set our purses down in the seats, ladies, this table will appear taken. It will also slide out of other people's interest, so long as our purses are there. Boys, you are going to need to be with one of us in order to find the table again. It's a subtle spell, but I've found that it even works on you.
How did you find that out?
Travis asked.
I live in Muncie, Indiana.
Oh!
All 3 of the wolves replied in understanding.
I don't understand.
Erin replied.
Have you ever heard of spiral dancers?
Erin shook her head, so Travis continued to explain.
They are almost a different breed of werewolf. They have family packs instead of packs like the rest of us. They are more like a beehive with one female who is their alpha, for lack of a better term, and they only keep the males. The females have to start their own packs, that is, if they survive to adulthood. The men are kept to mate and provide food, which is usually humans. That's why some areas have a high number of child abductions. That's them. They are terrifying even to us. They believe in the destruction of all that is not them. You will never see a spiral dancer at this school. That is why it makes sense that Amy would know such a spell works. She has probably had to make herself unnoticed by them.
There was a sadness in his eyes.
The Muncie area is a known nest for a spiral dancer pack. The local Wer and Mage community has been trying to clear out that nest for the last several years, but the Wer pack is one of the smaller packs. They are not going to be able to help for much longer.
That's sad to hear.
Amy replied.
They have really been awesome for us.
They had all placed orders and received their food by then, and each took a seat. Erin had never noticed that the Wer students received about double the food the Mage students did. Celeste noticed the look.
We burn through a lot of calories in a day.
She noticed that Erin had only eaten about half of the food given to her.
Why do you eat so little?
I was in a coma for 2.5 months. My stomach shrank a lot, and I haven't wanted to stretch it back out. It's harder for me to work off the extra calories, unless I have done a lot of magic that day.
Erin noticed how Travis and Celeste were with each other. They were always touching each other. It could be that their legs were touching, or one of them had a hand on the other's thigh or waist, or they even just held hands. It was unconscious the way they seemed to always reach out for each other.
You have a question?
Travis asked. Erin blushed.
Sorry, I didn't mean...
Ask.
Travis made a "it's okay" gesture.
Leo said you two are mates?
He nodded.
What does that mean? My uncle said that you all utilize the school to find your mates, but he didn't say much else.
We are drawn to one specific person. They will have a special sent to us to help us to find them. They are the perfect person for us, and it is said we are matched to our mates by the moon goddess, Selene herself. To find your mate makes you want to be with them, because to be with them helps to calm you when you are angry and soothes you when you are sad. To lose a mate is heartbreaking, and the surviving member of the pair doesn't typically live long past the death of their mate. A mate can be rejected, but it causes heartache and restlessness. It is one of the worst things a wolf can do, but is sometimes necessary.
Why would it be necessary?
The mate could be a spiral dancer, or older than is allowed by our council of elders, or part of a pack that yours is not friendly with at all, or even someone who is too close to you in blood. Such a matching, while could be a good thing in the third case, could also be used against both parts of the couple by their respective packs. It would allow them to find another mate, but in the meantime, they would both deal with the heartache and restlessness.
Travis took a few bites of food and then continued.
The mate bond can also make us jealous of another around our mates of the opposite sex. So if we are mated, we tend to make a same-sex matching for the survival class. I am paired with a mage male, and Celeste is paired with a mage female.
But Leo, isn't your mate going to be angry with you?
Leo was about to respond when Travis chuckled.
You don't need to worry. Leo hasn't found his mate yet. You won't have an angry she-wolf trying to take you out.
Erin nodded, but was thinking of that night when the four of them were surrounding her and growling. Celeste saw the look on Erin's face and guessed at what she must be thinking.
That won't happen again.
She reached over and put her hand over Erin's.
Travis and me, we wanted you to know that we're sorry. It was wrong of us, and I'm glad you did what you did before Rebecca tried to take it further. I have never seen a mage be able to do what you did so quickly.
Celeste withdrew her hand as she could hear Erin's heart beat faster, and the sour scent of fear had hit her nose when she had touched her.
I'm sorry.
Celeste blushed.
I accept.
Erin replied softly. It had gotten a tad darker in the room with Erin's discomfort, and as they began speaking of other things, the room brightened again. The three wolves were headed back towards their pack dorms.
When the room darkened, was that her?
Travis asked. Leo nodded.
Damn, I've never seen a mage do that.
I hear it only happens with mages when they become very strong in their main path's arcane. She's a necromancer, so she must be very strong in her death magic. If she was a mighty one and was strong in her force's magic, the lights would all get brighter.
Leo explained. On another path, Amy and Erin were headed back to their room.
Well, that went better than I expected it to.
Amy grinned.
Better than I thought, too.
Erin agreed.
You think it's true what Celeste said? That the other werewolves won't try to intimidate me like that again?
I think she was being genuine, but even if others do it, you've proven you can take care of yourself, and now it looks like you'll have some allies.
Hey everyone, hope you loved the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more awesome sci-fi content. You can also support us by hitting the thanks button at the bottom of the video. Your generosity goes a long way. Every bit helps us bring you more stories from the stars. Thanks a bunch.